Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to a very, very bad day on Ulthuan. I think we're probably just going to completely scour this island of high elves this episode, and I have to say I feel a little bad for them, because like, what were they supposed to do? By the time we showed up, it was way too late. Does Toryvress have... Okay. We have the basic buildings, which is good enough. I have no idea why this settlement is glowing like that, but I do know how we can fix it. Nope, just trying to select... Boy. The inconsistent Z rendering. What a bummer, man. It is not a big problem by any means, but... Alright, this is definitely not a 40 units problem. But you know, we got a lot of resources to spread out here. Hey, we did it! The Devastator! I do love a cataclysmic rampage. That said, I don't really know. I guess, yeah, I don't really want to recruit anything right now, so we're probably not going to do any of this either. I'm pretty much just taking 200 dread. Yeah, I can't see us wanting to. I guess, okay. Here's what we could do. If we're going to start another army, we could have it... Yeah, maybe that's the play. We use this as our moment to start another army. Cuz we could summon what hero recruitment buildings are in the Malagor's thing? Which heroes can you pull in? You can get a Bray Shaman or a Wargore. All right, so if we did this thing, which I guess we may as well, then we have to do army capacity +1, right? Because we're not going to get another one. So we won't have the resources to also pull that. We could wait. We are accumulating dread very quickly. It would only take 4,000 dread for us to buy out the rest of these. Yeah, all right. I am going to do that. But if we're going to wait, we don't need to buy this right now. I want to upgrade the cap on Wargores probably. The question is, do we want to bring in a punching hero or a punching lord and get a Bray Shaman caster to back him up, or do we want to bring in a caster lord and get a punching character to back him up? I don't actually know how the timing works on this reward, because like the bar's empty right now. I don't know how many turns I have to claim this. So I don't know. We don't have a Doom Bowl. It might be fun to have a Doom Bowl, just to keep mixing things up. We currently do not have... Yeah, all right, let's do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to upgrade the capacity for Bray Shamans. And then we're going to take... I'm going to have Malagor do his move for the turn first. I guess what we really want to do is just go straight north, right? Because we'll be able to jump over the mountains. This benefit lasts for 5 turns? Okay. Hero recruit rank +5 for Bray Shamans. So when we get up here, we'll start the new thing, hire in a Bray Shaman. He'll come in at level 21, if I'm not mistaken. And then, yeah. And we'll have a real actual functional 6th stack pretty soon. Pretty damn quickly, actually. Oh, you're not the one who leveled up. Boy, I am feeling I am kin with these terrible, horrible goat monsters because I too have an unnatural thirst. I bought a new water bottle the other day, like a 32-ounce water bottle. I feel like I'm going through that thing every hour. It is 10 million degrees in this room, and also one of my new medications is a diuretic, and it's really just it's a kind of a bad time. Okay, so Port Ellistor is for that. Yeah, I mean, for the moment, I don't expect the Dark Elves to turn on us. I don't think they have the guts. We might want to take a slow raise or two at some point just to make sure that we rebuild our favor supplies for ogre purposes. Just be stealthy. So Kazrak was coming along to help with this stuff. Do we want to run him over to Morgur and keep doing the pairs thing? Because if we do, the best play is to get around. You know what? No matter what, the best play is probably to make landfall at Lothern and then figure it out from there. Apparently, Da the Wildheart can kind of say his own name, and we're all very proud of him. You're getting there, little buddy. Ak the Rat Eater is gonna go north. I remember the plan. Who says I don't? So yeah, at this point we can't actually take that. Okay, so now we just need to generate 1,500 dread. That's all. No big deal. And we can hire the Bray Shaman in long before we do the other thing. Oh no, Doc got wounded by one of their heroes. We don't have to wait until we have the resources for the army. We can just get that wizard in and have him be a map hero for a little while until his army is ready. Obviously, the higher level your characters are, the less likely they are to be successfully wounded and stuff, so it's another reason that it's really important to try to drive XP very quickly. I was doing my best. It's alright, he wasn't really accomplishing anything over there except for gaining himself XP. So, yep, the Rewards of Ruin is definitely coming last. The White Tower of Hoeth actually has some defenses. Weird. So they're trying to build up an army to maybe get ahead of the rolling destruction. You know what? This seems like a good time. That's a lot of money. Oh, right. Also, we had a quest. Cool. So that doesn't seem like a huge priority. Bloodlust on, because Morgur's not amazing at melee combat. We can put him in melee, but we have to do so kind of carefully. So I'm not going to prioritize the Bloodlust. All right. So the Dark Elves hold the north side of the island. And yet Torok still hungers. Is it time to declare? Now keep in mind there are two major Dark Elf factions. They're not all glommed together just yet. There is Nagarond, which is like the hand holding the moon, and then over here we have the Cult, which is like Pegasus, I guess. So we can declare war on Nagarond without necessarily pissing off everyone who's nearby. This stuff is all cult land. There are Dark Elf settlements. Okay, this stuff is all proper Nagarond, though. Oh, I do notice that Nagarond is currently under siege. That's the black smoke pouring out of it. Tells you there are fires all around it. Who are you at war with? that is capable of doing such a thing. You're at war with the Warriors of Chaos. Oh, it could be the Warriors of Chaos. Given how much of their land has been burned, I would say that it seems like chaos is potentially their problem. Well, they're now showing up as only being about as powerful as I am. I think maybe this is the time. Maybe this is the time when we just go ahead and commit on them. So let's wait one more turn and before summoning in the new Bray Shaman. And I guess we don't declare on them this turn. We move and declare on them next turn when we can actually attack. Yeah, you tell him. Mui Shobar, whatever that means. See, he seems very enthusiastic about it. I don't want to dampen that, So, we continue. I guess one thing we could declare war right now and then see if Malice Darkblade, because all Dark Elves are named Malice Darkblade. See if he wants to ride south and try to take Tor Ivres back from us. Because I would love to just herd him right into an ambush. I think we're not going to. I think we're going to wait until next turn. Now, keep in mind, the cult is not necessarily going to go to war with us immediately, but the cult does... Oh no, they have a military alliance, so they could go to war with us immediately, and they are also approximately as powerful as we are. Yeah, we might be biting off more than we could chew with that plan. Has to happen eventually, though. Well, the High Elves are still attacking them over here. Yeah, I'm not really sure, actually, what the right move is. I think that's kind of a tough one. Etane's just about dead. Yeah, it's probably right to just start going for the throat this coming turn. We have the position. They won't be ready for it. We'll get to clip an army right away. And then they will not be as powerful as we are. And then we just got to really keep up the pressure so they don't manage to get back up to being as powerful as we are. Beastly Inclination. I mean, honestly, this is one where I really wish we could take the movement speed. Yeah, let's take combat stats. So Torfinu is looking pretty much free. There's a lot of that going around. After we take that, how many settlements do you even have left? Okay, 6, actually. Still several. Still more than one by a bunch. And I wonder if we maybe want to turn Khazrak around now. Mayhap that would be wise. Because that was the last one we need for Tor Ivres, right? Yeah. When we take Tor Korali in a second, then we can just fire that ritual, and then we can start thinking about the next Herdstone. But I don't want to leave the job undone. But you know, if we do fire off the deed, then they can't just like refill any of this stuff. They can't come in and undo all of our very good work. I don't know that Khazrak's up to the task of defending himself entirely from all of this. Yeah, I'm going to turn around. Okay, Malagor makes it all the way to the Witchwood. We destroy Hag Hall. Yep, no other stones in the area. Okay. Kazrak does turn around to defend the stone at Lothern, because I suspect it is going to become contentious. And let's do it. Okay, their allies did join them in the war. Now we're at war with all of the elves. Presumably there are some wood elves somewhere that we are not yet fighting. But I assure you, it is a temporary condition. I do not think it will be very long before there are no elves at all, in fact.
Really? So bad.
Alright, so chop that up. Got ourselves a little bit of Dark Elf fighting bonus, which we are about to put to very, very good use. And stealth. Always with the sneaking. Alright, that's done it.
There is no question that your mighty war herd is feared by all the races of the world.
The dark gods are pleased. Mankind is ravaged, also elves. They have been taunted, hunted, and broken by the children of chaos. The land is ripe for an even greater invasion, for other followers of the ruinous powers to make their mark, as paltry as it will be compared to the triumphs of the cloven ones. Yet there remains defiance. The armies of Manfilth muster as one, refusing the inevitable. No matter. This is but another opportunity for the beastmen to prove themselves the most worthy of the Dark Power's servants. Find this gathering of might, and ensure the fall of man. So this is going to be a thing we can only bring one army to. Karl Franz, the Emperor of the Empire, is going to be there with his very weak units. But you know, there'll be some other stuff. So obviously we want to go at that on a turn where Torox is at full health. So that'll check off this. We still have to defeat our enemies a bunch more times to really let the world know who is the boss. We got to get some things under control, but we are making headway here. All right, what else needs doing? Maybe Ox should just make landfall and start harassment. You know what? With the other Minotaur having been banished, I think this is probably worth doing. Are you close enough to attack them this turn? You sure are. Great work on assaulting those units. Alright, so now we're at war with all of our neighbors. All of the neighboring areas are just, geez, they're overjoyed. You know what? I may as well pull out the Bray Shaman this turn, because this is the area that we're going to be hanging out in. So what do we want? I do like a Bray Shaman of the Wilds, although these traits are pretty bad. And, you know, confidence fine. A Bray Shaman of Death. +5 wins of magic for all armies faction-wide is cool. Determined or Perceptive. Or a Bray Shaman of Beasts could have Nurgle's Foul Stink, or... Well, you know, we're already incentivized to put more Minotaurs in that army. Kaznor, welcome to the team. Just recruited this man at level 22. So let's start with Immortality, and then, you know, things will get better from there. So, improved power recharge rate whenever you cast. We're going to be fighting a lot of elves, right? So Flock of Doom is probably not that compelling. A bunch of physical resistance and melee defense. It helps you not get hit by armor-piercing damage, so that's nice. This will help you kill a dragon. Let's take the thing that you throw at a dragon. My suspicion is we're gonna be seeing some dragons. This is obviously a very powerful debuff. Okay, Arcane Conduit achieved. Do we get... No, we do not get all of our spells. We can summon a Manticore You know, extra units is good, but obviously, like, the Manticore is not the thing you most want to be summoning. Alright, so we'll cap out our magic next level. That's a pretty good start. And then we need, is it 1,000 or 1,500 for our next... Okay, 1,500 for the next army. We are approaching it rapidly. We should probably turn off fast forwards. Some stuff is going to happen now that actually matters. Crone Hellebron moving to Mistnar in her big stupid car. Big stupid elf car. We'll handle that. I am not afraid of Crone Hellebron. Obviously, these these high elves are not long for this world. Gosh, there are a lot of dark elf armies, though, huh? Was this a good idea? Did we make a huge mistake? Well, I mean, it had to happen, though, right? So, do we want to take a turn off of rampaging here to just let Torox get the quest battle done? I guess we don't have to be in a big hurry. Ooh, neat. The Bretonnian Navy showed up and sunk a dark elf. I don't remember what those are called. A black ark, I think. It's basically like a city that just floats around and reinforces all of their dark elf nonsense. I guess there's no reason that we have to do the battle of the final battle of man, the fall of man, right now. We could probably just push onward and keep leveling up the troops in Torox's army and eventually do it when we're a little closer to maxed out. So that, just our passive dread gain was enough to get us where we're going. Malagor will go and build the stone at the Witchwood. Hooray, we've secured the province. Good work, us. So what's up with the Witchwood? What's special about this one? This one is not special, actually. So some Great World capitals, but only some of them. And there seems to not be a lot of rhyme or reason as to which ones. It's fine. So let's start that army then, right? No reason to wait. So unsated blood. Yep, we'll just put together a second Minotaur stack. Barbed knuckle boxing. Wow, that's a very good ability. That is a very good limited time ability. Bullish metal becomes Herdlord, or yeah, obviously I'd prefer melee attack. The enemies have a hard time doing damage to you if they are dead. Let's take some of this. Let's definitely take some of that. It is, of course, an orgy of slaughter, as always. And then all of the Minotaur skills. And we're not going to be able to go super deep on Minotaurs right away. Obviously, we're going to have to increase the limits for Minotaur recruitment. So what else is going to supplement the Minotaurs in this army, though? A question. We'll probably want some ranged units. So Centaurs with throwing axes and Cygors. You know, Centaurs with throwing axes make a good ranged weapon counterpart to a bunch of Minotaurs. I'm going to take Beastlord's Spite. And then the Call of Violence, of course, who doesn't love it? And for the moment, we're not going to have a lot of rank 7 units, so I'm not going to stress about this stuff too much. So what do we want to put two more points into? Well, you know what? I guess we can put points into one of these things just so that we can get Apocalyptic Visions. Get the good version of Call of Violence right away. And then... So you spawned with some basics. Okay, cool. Oh, right, you're not actually in a recruiting stance, and I can't put you inside the Herdstone because Malagor is inside the Herdstone. Well, let's go ahead and have your wizard join up at least. Okay, it's going to take a minute for that army to get on its feet. Oh, right. No beast paths on the island. I remember. Okay, so let's figure out where our next herdstone goes, right? We want to make as much of this place uninhabitable as possible. Mistnar's in a really awkward spot where it will not be made uninhabitable by a stone at Torachair, but I think Torachair is still the sensible place to put the thing. So we're just going to burn Mistnar, and it's going to periodically get resettled, I guess. It's not... Yeah, it doesn't have enough devastation value to ritual itself. Wait. A stone at Mistnar reaches Torachair, but a stone at Torachair doesn't... Huh. That's pretty weird. Well, whatever. We need to go to Mistnar because we know Crone Hellebron is there, and we cannot have her living. I am not a big fan of that. Yep, her army's all tired from all of the running away they've been doing. Malice Darkblade is still nearby. Now, Mistnar itself has basically no garrison. My suspicion is that most of the settlements on this island are not very built up because they've been changing hands so much, right? Ooh, a Pyrrhic victory. You think we're going to actually lose a bunch of people? Nope, it says Pyrrhic victory, but it doesn't indicate that any units will be lost or anything. I mean, it's just Dark Elves. Yeah, okay, it hurt. I will say, it really did distribute that damage very, very evenly, which is not a thing that the auto-resolver always does. Hey, that's pretty good. The trouble with Knights of Debauchery always comes the day after. Not so much hungover as hanged. There is no way that beastmen hang people. I cannot imagine them having the discipline to put together a gallows. Seems like an awful lot of delayed gratification. Alright, what if I was just always invisible? Boy, I don't even know who to go after first here, to be perfectly honest with you. This is pretty scary. Okay, where would we want to set up a stone here? Yeah, alright. Tor Elir makes a lot of sense. It's very well positioned. So... I guess I want you to push in the direction of the Eagle Gate. And then obviously through. For the moment, let's just keep doing damage and gaining XP. And at this point, basically all of our dread is going into Minotaur, the Minotaur cap upgrades, right? Fortunately, we do have an awful lot of dread. Awful lot of sources of passive dread. An awful lot of blood elves meeting the blade every turn. And hell, a bunch of their units have dread right in the name. Really? You're performing... I am your greatest threat at this moment? I think you might be mistaken. Malice Darkblade sailed out to get some treasure. Which is probably not really a thing we can take advantage of. I don't think we're going to be able to go out there and catch him before he can return to the mainland. Wait, did they lose that battle? No, okay, it was just taking a long time to resolve. Alright, the Dark Elves have crushed the High Elves. No big surprise there. Man, they got a lot of dragons and stuff. I do have some minor concerns. Also, all of their legendary lords are just sort of like gathered up right here. Aw, they're gonna burn my herdstone. Well, they're gonna try to burn my herdstone. Sadly, as fast as we are, I do not think we're gonna be able to get down there and defend that. I guess I don't care. Yeah, I probably don't care. We don't actually need to hold any territory or anything. We just got to burn down a couple of cities and then we're out. We don't even actually have to finish these wars. I mean, I had to win a bunch of battles, but... Hi, Lewin. What's up, Bretonia? I guess they think they're going to resettle this. You know what? I might just let them have it. Technically, I should definitely be killing them. They are absolutely forces of order. But you know what? The way the game mechanics are structured, my objectives and whatnot, I have no incentive to mess with them. Alright, so they failed to wound my hero because they are embarrassing failures. Construction cost up for all buildings in all regions. That does actually suck quite a bit. So Malagor is going to need another turn or two before his army's ready to throw down in a big way. Oh my, Nagaron's actually been burned. Yeah, I think we're going to ignore what's happening in the south. We're just going to push northward here. So I'm going to leave new guy. Well, I guess he can just follow us. Actually, sorry, maybe he can follow us. Yeah, all right. He'll make it to like here. Oh, also, you know what? We should buy new guy some stuff. There are some things that you should own, my friend. I do not have insufficient... What? Is 3,000 more or less than 62,000? Help me budget this. Okay, yeah, weird. You know, I do want a champion's essence for my man here as well. And then, like, do we want to give him other stuff? Let's have a look. Let's have a look at what we have sitting around. Because we may have things that are worth throwing on him. Yeah, like we have some pretty basic armor, I guess. A short-term buff that gives a lot of damage resistance. You can have it up a third of the time. I guess equip that for the moment. Yeah, we're probably going to want to buy some stuff for him. Obviously, that goes there. You could... Big charge bonus or healing. Probably healing. Let's get you that. And then... The Gift of Chaos seems like a fun thing to give somebody. We have a lot of banners. Horde growth actually does matter a little bit here. So we'll assign you a doe for the moment. And, oh sure, building cost down. Building cost down is relevant. Okay, I think we got all the good stuff. Got a couple of Gifts of Chaos. I guess let's, lowers enemy armor by a little bit, and then, like, another Gift of Chaos, I guess? Okay. So... May as well make with this. Probably ought to do that thing. Can't upgrade any of the other buildings in a way that would be useful yet. So, what can we recruit? Well, I guess let's do that. And then, harpies? And also, yeah, some of the basics here. Until we get your unit caps figured out. That'll have to do. So we're gonna try to make for Tor Elir. No, don't actually go in the settlement. Just hang out nearby. They see one army, and I'm hoping that that will result in them getting overconfident and running over here. Okay, yeah, we did your stuff already, right? No, you guys haven't moved this turn. That was last turn. Actually, I do make it to Elysia this turn. Will you quite? You won't quite keep up. We know Malice Darkblade is... Oh, he did make it back. I was going to say still at sea nearby. Torox, are you actually... Okay. Is he able to make it into reinforcement range? Because the thing is, if we go as close as we can, then obviously he's going to be left in the open. This is risky, but I'm just going to take it. Not risky for the battle itself, but risky in terms of what position it leaves Torox's army in if there are some Dark Elves that are like right in the fog over there. We can stealth and hopefully it'll just be good enough. Okay, we can at least keep them together. Admiral Valile is another... Any Dark Elf character that has, like, Admiral at the beginning of their name is going to be a Black Ark. So that thing cannot actually come up onto land and fight us. We are safe from it as long as we don't go down into the water with it. Yeah, so at this point we're putting up stones, not really for the marks of ruination, just to prevent people from reestablishing settlements, because it's a thing that we can do to annoy people. It doesn't really have a lot of value, but preventing our opponents from refilling the area is cool. Also, setting up a herdstone that has a 20-unit garrison is cool. Ah, they have even more. They have backup. Well, I'll tell you what. I do believe, looking at their forces, that this is going to be a decisive defeat. And also, I don't actually care. So sure, burn it down. It's a bummer that they're going to get to resettle this area, but it's not such a bummer that I'm going to take any effort at all to prevent it from happening. So basically, what we're doing on Ulthuan right now is just causing a distraction. Because we want the forces in the north to be able to get to Naggarond. Oh, but you know what? Is that going to uncheck Hexawaddle? It shouldn't, because the objective is Hexawaddle is raised. And that is still the case. But yeah, actually, I probably do have to go back and reset that one. Well, we wouldn't have been able to defend it no matter what, so it's fine. We'll deal with the Dark Elves. Okay, still accomplishing chapter objectives, even though we do not care about them even a tiny little bit. How many more battles do we need? A lot. Boy, it's a lot. It's really a huge number. It does feel like the Dark Elves just ran away, right? Like, we started making a little bit of progress up here, and they just immediately surrendered the entire north side of the island. I'll say this, I would like to actually get rid of the High Elf faction if we can get through them here. Just one less thing to worry about coming back on us later. Alright, Torox is out of movement, but he can just stand in the open. I'm sure it'll be fine. So they have to take Lothern before they could resettle Val's Anvil. I'm a little worried about these armies over here, but there's not really much I can do about it right now. Oh hey, Da has returned. Okay, Khazrak is a little slower than everybody else. Important to remember. As things are right now, we are not actually in reinforcement range of each other. So I think what we should probably do here is send Da around to harass these ones. Just try to keep them weak for as long as we can. A big problem with invading Ulthuan often comes from the gates. The gates can be a real nightmare to take over if they're built up. So we actually owe the Dark Elves a lot. The Dark Elves and the High Elves both, I guess. For the fact that the gates have been changing hands over and over again, they will be way less built up than normal. Some Wargore has a skill point, and I guess that. So a lot of this stuff is getting burned, and it looks like it's not getting resettled. I'm assuming that, like I said, that this is the Warriors of Chaos doing their thing. They will be very friendly to us, by the way. I sort of want to just do an underway move then, or a Beast Paths move rather. Let's have you scout forward. I guess it's really unsafe to do that, unfortunately. We have so little vision. Okay, that's safe-ish. I guess. I mean, it doesn't feel very good. We have to level up the herdstone before we can do much else, though. So I'm hoping that it'll turn out that all of this stuff is just free for us. Because, like all of the Dark Elf armies, part of the reason that everything's falling up here has to be that all of the Dark Elf armies are in this area, right? We can see all of their characters and everything.
Speak.
Alariel has shown up. I mean, she's not really a threat to us. I think everything's fine. Fine-ish. I will say, Eatane's really holding on. I was expecting them to be dead by now. Ooh, the Sword of Khaine. Really? I guess they're going for Lothern right now, and they're really booking it, too. Well, it would definitely be best for us if that did not fall. I gotta tell you, I don't much like the idea of having to, like, maintain control of settlements. That is not what I showed up here to do. Oh, did I forget to put up... I didn't put up a stone in that settlement, did I? I sure didn't. Alright, Galak, fix the thing that I did a bad job of. While Torox continues on and challenges all of the Dark Elf armies by himself. Does anyone guard Tor Anlek? Oh, hey, we found Tyrion. I have plenty of momentum. Oh, right, but sorry, we're not into the next rampage yet. So what's up with Tyrion's army? Oh, wow. It is bad. It is some real low-tier garbage. He does have a dragon. He also has a chariot pulled by massive white lions, which is pretty cool. I think I'm just gonna creep forward a little bit and go into ambush mode, and we'll see what happens. Maybe he will wander into a very fun battle for us. Maybe we should recruit another... Did Malagor have the ability to pull in a Wargore? Am I remembering that correctly? Yeah, we should pull in a Wargore for scouting purposes. Having to scout with my actual armies sucks a huge amount. For the moment, let's just stay close. We need 3 points of population. Well, we're almost there. Is there a Wargore who has like bonus movement? Well, okay, this one affects the leadership of armies in the region. Damage settlement walls, hinder replenishment, spread lots of corruption. We do love the corruption. Okay. So, I don't know who the hell you think you are. There is no way those dread spears are going to be able to stand up against the garrison we have in Ulthuan with the Bestigors and the Minotaurs and 2 units of giants. And I don't know what these guys are doing, actually. They can't possibly think that attack will work.
I refuse.
The thing is, if we push forward to Tor Ilir right now, we're going to be in big trouble. Like, we're gonna get run over. Can Morgurm make it back further? I know he's a little bit more range, but he's also a little bit further away. All right, I'm going to go to, like, right here. And just set an ambush. Or not. Apparently, the 10% movement range that I was told that I would have turned out to not be... Yep, turned out to be 8. Cool. Cool, I'm glad that that's how that went. All right. Well, I had to pull you back to play defense against trickery here. Yeah, I do not think it is safe to push up, unfortunately. With Malekith and also the Sword of Khaine right there, I think we got to play cautious. Certainly not my natural instinct.
Chaos.
All right. Just gonna ride on Tor, and like I was really hoping he would just attack it. Want him to burn out some of his strength fighting a walled settlement, and then we just run in there and immediately eat him. Okay, yeah, I blew my stealth there, which really sucks. I wish the game was more consistent about actually spending the amount of movement that it says it's going to spend. This is if you've wondered why a lot of the time I move 3% less than we should be able to and stuff, it's because of that. Hi. What's your deal? We need to check on their alliances. They might be allied with the High Elves. They might be here to help fight the Dark Elves off. Which I don't like. I don't love the Dark Elves, but I don't want them to lose the control of the island. What is your deal?
You are a guest in my realm.
You are at war with all the Dark Elves. You do not have any particular feelings about the High Elves, which is interesting. Is the stone here? Yes, it does cover the Shrine of Khaine. Okay. Well... Alright, you need a couple more turns of replenishment. Torox should be able to trivially crush Tyrion. Tyrion's army is so basic. This should be no problem at all. Like, it's just the lowest, the lowest, weakest spearmen. I will say this, though. Like, look at this. Even though these are totally the base melee unit for this faction, with all the buffs from Tyrion and everything, they're up to 51 melee defense. And that's before considering their martial prowess. Like, they're buffed up to kind of an impressive level for such a simple unit. Oh, you know what? I'm going to lightning strike him. Take that. They had very slightly less leadership for that battle. Do we want... Yeah, I'll take the replenishment. Okay, that's pretty cool. Melee attack up for the whole army. Torox is putting together quite a list of the slain. Okay, now we've got our harsh rampage and we can get a little bit more aggressive with our movement. Do we want to go back and get the shrine? Probably. I have to be a little bit careful here, though, because Alariel is right there. We should probably step Galak outside of the settlement at the very least. We can make it a pretty... Yeah, let's make it toward Torox. Because inside the herdstone, he's totally visible. We never want our enemies to feel like they have a good idea of where we're at. Always got to keep them uncomfortable. Yeah, not having access to the beast paths here really sucks, because we have to, like, if we go up the outside of the island, we can't break back to the inside until the Eagle Gate. I almost think that, I hate to do this, but I kind of think that what we have to do is wait here for one of the branches of Dark Elves to advance far enough. This is not my favorite strategy as a Beastman. But yeah, I do. Let's wait for one of them to step forward or backward, I guess. We need this not to be so even. At some point in the pretty near future, Torox is going to cause one of them to have to fall. One of these groups to have to fall back and defend against him. And when that happens, then maybe we can safely advance elsewhere. We did just pick up a plus movement range follower that I think probably ought to go on the new guy in place of one of the Gifts of Chaos. Yeah, probably. A Huskarl. Alright, Scout, go forth and do that thing that we're paying you to do. Except obviously we're not paying you. What a ridiculous concept. Okay, a stone and venom glade would prevent the resettlement of a lot of this territory. We're just going to do the same thing here that we've been doing with Torox. The big beastmen help the little beastmen along. You know, it's all about family here. That's the wrong... I was supposed to put up a stone there. You know what? It's fine. Portents of Doom, kind of whatever. Yeah, we'll take on Holy Power, though, and Holy Power seems fun. Akbar, can you please go correct the dumb thing I did? Thank you. And it does, in fact, seem to be the case that the Dark Elves didn't leave any armies back here, and that's why everything is getting collapsed. They forgot to care about the long-term success of their whole deal, their whole empire. Da the Wild Heart, the Gorbel, who is, I guess, out of skill points already. Okay, so are any of the Rampage rewards worth anything for us right now? None of them give bonus movement range, which is like the only thing I would really care about. Oh, we should definitely fire one of these right before we go after the quest, though, so we probably want to hold on to this. Because, right, these are the only ones that, like, have much of a battle effect. Yeah. Okay. So we'll probably want to, like, do unyielding onslaught right before the battle. All right, so let's save that for the moment. Let's see how Alariel responds. Does this elf army come north? Okay, having lost vision of us, it seems like they've gotten brave. Wow, she is fast. But she knows exactly where to stop, huh? I don't know. She probably just ran out of movement at exactly that point. Well, I do believe we are about to feast. Oh, my friend. Oh, how unfortunate for you. Wow. That is the most basic army that it is possible to field. I'll take it. Yeah, rage up seems good. All of a sudden, Marathi's wishing that she was not 100% out of movement. You know, I really thought that the part of this where we're actually up in the snowy wastes was going to be the tricky part. Do I want to do something about that? He did just resettle right in front of me. His army's going to be so soft. Yeah, we can't allow that, right? All right, let me queue up our final challenge.
Honor before glory.
Yeah, his bad army is they're so screwed up from, okay. Dude, I was gonna let you live.
Not one step further, stranger. You do not walk.
Yeah, whatever. I'm at war with everybody. Who cares? At this point, the only people we cared about keeping as allies in any way at all are already at war with us. So whatever. Yeah, I guess you come with me. I really wish you were better at healing. The replenishment rate on this army is embarrassing. Alright, this should be very easy and should not result in any losses, even though our units are all torn up. Because, gosh, there sure aren't very many of them. Just got one entire favor there. Once again, I have defeated a lord, and sadly, once again, I have been awarded a trait that does nothing. He definitely says sweeties, right? I think he just described the men of Bretonnia as those sweeties. And I'm not trying to say he's wrong. I don't know them personally. Maybe they are. Ugh, now this is happening. Lewin's over here. We're gonna have to do... Stupid men and their stupid settlements. Alright, well. We know approximately what's got to happen over here, right? We're not even going to bother with the level ups yet. Khazrak, lead us in the great cleansing of Marathi. Her army wasn't even that bad. It's just March mode and outnumbered 2-1. Hero action cost down for all heroes everywhere is pretty cool. That's an interesting legendary lord trait. So these dark elves haven't moved up at all. These ones are weakened and kind of like on the back foot. I say let's just press up the outside of the island. Let's just burn this stuff out. And if the other group of dark elves starts toward Lothern, then we'll have to fall back, I guess. Oh, wait, it didn't... Do you see that? After I let go of right click, it changed where he was going. That right there is probably how that thing keeps happening, where I end up with less movement than I thought I was supposed to have. We're not fighting against men. I guess I'll take that. I will say that, although of course I enjoy having lots of interesting, well, somewhat interesting skill choices to make and everything. I do feel like assigning skill points is kind of, you get so many of them that it gets pretty tedious. Morgur is, we should probably take Force for Change. I don't know that we're going to ever actually make use of it, but we should probably have it. Does Morgur's army still have, wow, yeah. Click, there we go. I kind of wish, what would be cool actually? Oh, hey, they actually do have an army back here. What would be pretty cool, I think, is if they did a, if they let you set a template, like right away, right when you get a character, set a template. I'm just going to lay an ambush for her. And then every time they gain a skill point, the skill points just go in where you said to put skill points. We are having some animosity problems. Yeah, I desperately need to get in actual fights. Hopefully this will provoke some of that. Oh, the sword is right there. I sure would love to steal that. Yeah, that's very interesting indeed. You know what, Ak, could you pursue that maybe? Think about Torox with the Sword of Khaine. Think about that nightmare. Alright, I guess we're going to leave you right where you are for the moment. Just continue to harass. We've got them on the back foot, like, in a pretty extreme way here, right? Also, Akbar should have a... There we go. The ability to build some of the actual better buildings now. We're not going to be able to really do the recruitment we want to do until this is tier 4 at least, but for the moment we can at least get all that started. Do we want a giant building as well? Yeah. No sense not building one. It's a small enough amount of money. Ak, go do an annoyance. Go be a problem. Alright, hopefully Hellebron will think she can just waltz in and take over the Herdstone. Because I would really rather not fight her inside those walls. You can't... Okay. Can't quite make it, it turns out. And also, somebody still has skill points. Jesus. How many skill points do we have to assign every single turn? Oh, is it working? Oh, it's working. She's so dumb. Dark Elves, how many times? Yes, we will. We will, in fact, consume her for free. So, more Bestial Rage is good. Having a little bit of trouble maintaining those bars. Look at all those skill points. Look at all the clicking we're going to have to do. Alright, so the Sword of Khaine was moved up to that gate. Oh, come on. At some point, like, it's just very embarrassing for them is all. They are going to push from the other side at the same time, though. Well, we could just turn one of the armies around. I can probably single stack that settlement, right? Clearly, things are going very, very well for the dwarves. I think the dwarves must be the most powerful faction in the world right now. At war with the orcs, who are the second most powerful faction in the world. It is a little humbling to know that all this stuff that's happening over here, it would be child's play for either the dwarves or the orcs to just conclude that whenever they feel like it. if they were over here. Alright, so we get a bunch of stuff. We got an awful lot of skill points. And yes, oh wow. She lost a lot of units. Can we reach her? Oh, okay. I do believe Torox is about to gain access to the Sword of Khaine. That sounds like a fun way to pick up next episode. I am going to spend these, though, so we don't have to worry about that. Do you want your Portents of Doom? I mean, I guess so. I want the other point in Something Wicked This Way Comes more, though. Let's make sure we get that. Let's make sure I don't forget. We should probably grab this. Nope, still just trying to select an army. A task that is remarkably difficult, considering that it's a thing you need to do constantly. Alright, so we got our apocalyptic vision. What is next? I guess we want a yellow line. We just want some yellow line stuff. Should probably pick up that. It is a good idea to gouge with the tusks. Alright, so we have all of our magic line stuff. I guess just help me to spread corruption. I will say I'm a little surprised that if it was the Warriors of Chaos who were up here burning stuff, I'm surprised that they stopped. I wonder why. Also, do we really have even more unassigned skills? Just always. Ah, that's right. Another one of our ambushes did get charged into, didn't it? Well, I guess at this point, take the Bloodlust. You know, we do want him to get into melee sometimes. He does do the damage over time corruption and... Yep, and then also some of this. Okay, there we go. I think that right there is where we're going to stop for today. We have killed many, many, many elves, and things are only going to get worse for them on that front. I will say I have a little bit of trepidation about the Phoenix Gate move because it is going to leave us very vulnerable, and we cannot hide at the Phoenix Gate, probably. I mean, whatever. I'm absolutely going to go get the Sword of Khaine, right? Look at... It's a little hard to see with their banner, but it's a giant red glowing magic... like, obviously. So that's going to be it for us for today, and thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time tomorrow, magic swords for everybody. No, just me. Magic swords for just me. And we'll see you then.